Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the BEA Eagle motion sensor. This video will be a somewhat cogent review of the device itself and give you an idea of its specifications, its capabilities, its programming, and then just a general overview of all of that. It's likely that if you're looking at this, you might be replacing an existing. You see this Eagle ubiquitously. It's everywhere. Sometimes it doesn't have a name on the front. Sometimes it says Horton or Stanley or Dorma or a million other names. But it's BEA. BEA is the company who makes this, and this is their Eagle. They have other models. There are other models of sensors. There's Sparrow. IO. There's a whole mess of them. The Eagle, in my experience, is the most common. It's inexpensive, it's effective, it's reliable, predictable. Now, when you buy the Eagle, you're going to get the cover and you're going to get the business end. The business end, I find it easiest to simply use a blunt instrument. I don't like a screwdriver because it's a little sharp, and quite frankly, the end of a nail clipper is a very blunt tool. Because I routinely pop these covers off, I just sneak my tool between this joint. And I slide it in far enough that I can just gently pop it out. And because I'm not left-handed, I'm going to do it with the right hand here. And hopefully you'll see some of it. Just going to push it up and spread that out. Now that I've got it spread, I just push it in a little bit, and I just turn it up, and it pops. It just literally gently pops out. The key is going in far enough with that blunt instrument to get it to pop out. And at that point, you can carefully just tip and lift, and it'll come off. The covers are available separately, and there's a link below this video to the cover. Why would you buy the cover? Because you want to make it look like brand new again. That's the bottom line. The cable, the 6-foot 5-wire cable is also included and available as a separate product. There's a link below this as well. Why would you want that? Maybe you've damaged one. You will also get a couple of screws and a template, okay, for your installation. You're going to get installation instructions as well, and we're going to go over that. All of the details are down below in terms of installation instructions, technical overview, product catalog, user's guide, and here is the business end. Very simple, straightforward mechanism. Might look like a lot, but it's not. You've got your wiring connections up here, which we'll define in a moment. You've got your 2 push buttons, which we'll define, and then you've got your sensor down below, which can be articulated, and then it can go up and down as well, so that you can adjust the sensing range. Okay. There are photographs down below this video that will give you lots of detailed views of the circuit board. Okay, let's begin with looking at the first document, in no particular order really in terms of importance, but in order of how they're listed. Cut sheet. The cut sheet document is a summary overview of the product line itself. Overhead motion sensor designed for activation of automatic pedestrian doors. They also make a high version. If you're doing an industrial overhead door, there's a version that is intended to work better with that. The Eagle is a universally compatible piece of equipment with all makes and models of swinging, sliding, revolving automatic doors, capable of exceeding ANSI standards and meeting FCC requirements. Unidirectional radar increases energy efficiency by detecting approaching traffic while filtering motion away from the door, reducing false positives. Energy savings as a result. Narrow and wide antenna included. Advanced microprocessor screens out interferences because of rain, snow, radio frequency, and the vibration you might have on an operating door header. Motion detection can detect traffic as low as 2.2 inches per second. Compact, low Design. Industrial high mount option, again available for up to 16 foot 16.5 foot applications. The second page of that cut sheet is nice because it will give you technical specifications. I'm not going to go over that because you can read those. No need to listen to me drone on about what you can quickly view, except to say that between 6 and 10 foot would be a normal operating height for this model. Related products are important, and the common ones are, of course, going to be, if you want to just buy these pieces separately, the Eagle mounting bracket adapter, and then there are 3 bracket adapters that are there, and those are all listed. There's a related product there, the remote. And the remote you might want to invest in, and it's linked in down below this video, and we're going to go on in a moment and talk about why you might want the remote. The rest of the cut sheet will give you an overview of its applications in terms of its sensing range. Let's close that up and go to the user guide. Let's take a look at that. The user guide is really the meat and potatoes of this item itself. Before we get to the user's guide, let's hop over to the product catalog, and I just want to point that out because it's an overview of items that are directly related to the Eagle motion sensor, such as programmable relay, other sensors, safety eye beams that can be installed on doors, a variety of accessories that go along with all of these items, such as push plates, such as transformers, such as replacement parts like cherry switches for push plates. But then they will get into other items that will help you build an entire system, such as locking hardware that might relate to an automatic door operator, which needs to communicate in the greater assembly when using an Eagle sensor. So that product catalog is handy, and I would suggest that you go through that just so that you're aware of the other items available. And I had said IO earlier. I was thinking Iris. The Iris is the other sensor for this. Product catalog you can go through on your own. Technical sheet, we're not going to get into that because I've already pointed out the technical specifications on the initial document. Now, in the user's guide, page 1 is going to be, again, a review of all of the technical specifications. We'll point out that your LED is going to be right here in the center. Okay. Page 2 begins installation instructions, tips you can review. Opening the sensor on page 3, we have discussed the mounting of the sensor. You're going to use the template. You have 3 holes to contend with. You've got your 2 for the screws, and you've got your 1 here for the electrical access. And there's a picture down below that you can zoom in on and take a closer look at that. After you feed the wire through, in step 4, you'll be able to electrically connect it to your operator. Now, looking at your mechanical adjustments that you're going to see in step 5. Okay. You have your wide sensing field. It's shown right here. On the right-hand side, it will give you a view of what that footprint looks like, looking down in a plan view of the space, measured in feet, that the Eagle is going to be able to detect. And the antenna is changeable. On the unit itself, you may not have noticed, but tucked in right here is the narrow sensing field, the 6-element antenna, which will give you a more narrow path shown on the right side of that. In step A on that page, you will be able to see how to swap that out. You want to be real careful pulling that snap cover off, but you'll leverage it underneath here with a set of screwdrivers, and it will snap off. Just be gentle. Replace it, and obviously put back the other antenna so that you have it for future use. B shows how to position that vertically, as we somewhat demonstrated earlier. Now that will tip in and out. Moving on to page 5 of 8, the Swivel adjustment of the sensing field is capable as well by adjusting that to account for actual circumstances that you would contend with in a real scenario. 30-degree plus or minus either way. Adjustability. Again, the graph and plan view is given showing you how you're going to be able to account for that. The next page is the programming guide, and it's based on having the remote. The remote is an additional product not included. The remote is going to give you the ability to fully control the unit. Without the remote, you cannot do anything except modify the sensitivity parameters of the Eagle. That is done via the push buttons that are here. You might not need the remote, and frankly, we don't sell the remotes often, well, because you don't buy them multiple times generally. But in new installations, I think a lot of people do not end up using the remotes, and that the factory settings, which is all that you would be able to work with without the remote, is adequate for lots of installations. Getting into the last 3 pages or so, or 4 pages of the document, are the installation instructions that are included. And on page 1 and page 2 and page 3 are almost all review, except that on page 3, or the second to last page, you can modify via that remote the zone size, the immunity filter, the detection mode, which is important because you can have a 2-way bi-directional detection mode, a 1-way direction towards the sensor, the uni with the tracking feature, which you might want as well, and then the uni with the away, 1-way detection away from the sensor. So if you have a complicated installation, you might want to invest in the remote. Moving forward, output configuration, active or passive output, hold time, which could be very important for you, meaning you might have an installation where you have a magnetic lock, and you might want to be able to control the hold open time of the sensor so as to not prematurely relock something. Now that sort of hold open time, half up to 9 seconds, may not be adequate, and you might need to do something else with a time delay. But it might be perfect for your installation. Okay? You might want to be able to extend the hold open time slightly, or you might want to leave it at factory standard. And the yellow boxes indicate what factory standard are. Mounting height, 10 feet. Door control, open. The sensor detects constantly, which is controllable. Closed, the sensor is in standby and does not detect. Controllable by the remote. I can certainly see why you would want to be able to put an Eagle into a standby mode or a closed mode. The bottom of that page shows you how you can affect zone size. I had said sensitivity earlier, meaning the pattern, how sensitive or how big of an area it will control. It can be controlled only with the 2 pins that are here, the 2 push buttons. The last page is troubleshooting. That's all similar and straightforward as any other troubleshooting document that you've ever reviewed. It will be able to allow you to review what's happening and what should be tried if a unit is not working. We sell these all the time, and they're industrial and robust and predictable and reliable. The only time that we sell new ones is if there might be damage, or there might be some sort of electrical condition that has caused some sort of damage, or it might be a scenario where you're adding a new opening, which is obviously most common for a new installation of this material. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page now, where you can review not only all of the BEA products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I urge you, if you have more than an occasional need for automatic door equipment, the sensing equipment in particular, to review their site. BEA is the OEM company that several other door manufacturers go to. Horton, Stanley, Norton, Besom. A lot of these people use their push pads, their transmitters, their receivers, their sensors. I fully suggest that you consider going direct to the source because you'll be getting the same product, hopefully without the secondary markup, and you get a good outfit that you can deal with directly in terms of technical support and customer service. BEA is. If you have any questions on the BEA Eagle door sensor or any other BEA product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.